And with the 4th pick of the 2010 NHL entry draft, the Columbus Blue Jackets are pleased to select from the Western Hockey League's Portland Winterhawks center Ryan Johanson.
Excellent news. Columbus Blue Jackets fans, this is excellent news. Last year they drafted a real good skating defenseman in John Moore, who didn't go to college, went and played major junior hockey in Canada. They had Derek Brassard, a former first-round pick who's battling through shoulder problems. He's a top-end player. Jakub Voracek, a top-end forward. Everybody knows about Rick Nash. This kid's really good, and he's only going to get better, Bob.
And for all those kids that play AA hockey and don't play AAA hockey, this is your poster boy for success. He's a late-blooming underdog. He was the 150th overall pick in the WHL Bantam draft. A year ago, in the middle of the regular season, he was a fourth-line player who was struggling to get ice time with the Penticton Vees, only because of injury, and the door opened up for him to play as a regular with the Vees in the British Columbia Junior Hockey League. Mike Johnson, the head coach of the Portland Winterhawks, sat down with him in the summer because Mike Johnson, scout, says, you know what, we've been watching this kid in summer hockey, and we really think there's an excellent chance for him to be really good. And when he sat down with him at a White Spot restaurant in Vancouver, he pulled out a list of all the 1992 born players that were going to be in the draft and looked at it and said, are you as good as any of these guys? And Brett Connolly was one of those guys at the top of the list in the best 92s. And Ryan Johanson, who at that point was planning to go to Northeastern University, said, absolutely, I can play with those guys. I can be as good at them, if not better.
You saw the graphic there. Taylor Hall, Tyler Seguin, Eric Goodbranson were all very highly drafted players in their junior leagues. Not so the case for Johanson, who was 150th in the Western Hockey League draft. So, Bob, as you mentioned, a message to young players who maybe aren't as highly regarded when they're in their early teens, that in your late teens, things can turn around. And just ask Ryan Johanson, who is now the 4th overall pick to the Columbus Blue Jackets.
He's a little physically immature. He's about 6'2.5", 189 pounds. This is a player who, when he plays in the National Hockey League, will be a lot closer to 210, 215. He gets some Jason Spezza comparisons because of his playmaking ability. Also, Joe Thornton. He loves Joe Thornton. He thinks those are a compliment. Some people call him a poor man's Eric Stahl. Probably not the same finish as Eric Stahl, but a guy that's got top-end offensive ability and plays a strong two-way game.
All right, thank you, gentlemen. This is turning out to be the draft where almost everyone goes where they wanted to go. I talked about Goodbranson. I was fortunate enough to share a cab ride with this young man, Ryan Johanson, the other night, and he said, you know, Columbus is high, but boy, I'd really love to go to Columbus. It's a good fit. Why?
Well, I remember doing my fly down there right after the combine and just visiting the arena and the coaching staff and organization. It was just, you know, it just felt like the place to be, and, you know, hopefully I'll be a good fit.
I hope you take it as a compliment that I say you were the long shot of this draft. Not coming in, but if you go back a couple of years, the guys talked about it. 150th in the Bantam draft. And I asked you if you'd play with a chip on your shoulder because of that, and you said, no, that was the happiest night of my life just to get drafted. So what is this night?
I don't even know yet. I'll have to think of what it feels like tomorrow. There's so much going through my head right now. I just can't really believe it. It's just an unbelievable feeling.
Congratulations.
Thanks so much.
Ryan Johanson, the newest member of the Columbus Blue Jackets.